Wasn't counted up
Hello,
this time.
fucking hell, Haggard. God damn it to shit. We just,
Can't
We're
have
back,
PATHCO
everybody.
without Shitty intros.
my name is changed daily. Fucking hell.
I mean, in my defense, that's the first time I've ever done that.
I don't know.
It's
if that's
about
true.
time. It's about time.
Someone passed through the archives. I think Haggard's ruined the intro before. I'm not gonna fucking Haggard's playing the old innocence act. I don't think that doesn't land here, fella, Sonny Jim.
Or if
There
you
are no
start
innocents
now,
in
Whoa.
PATHCO.
by the time you get through it all, I might have caught up with the other game, the other thing we were talking about.
The other thing.
The show that shall not be named.
Yeah.
Apparently.
The
Yeah.
show that shall not be
It was-
named.
Oh,
pretty
Voldemort's
rough.
actual play podcast. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to catch up on that as well.
Fucking hell.
They're a bit murder hobo-y. I'm not such a fan.
What
Fuck,
system?
I feel like bringing up Harry Potter is kind of rough right now as well, on
Yeah.
account of the author being a fascist.
what system do you play? Do you think?
What? They play
Pathfinder.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably Pathfinder.
It's Pathfinder, but the combat rules are from Lancer.
Oof. Bloody
They've
hell.
made it worse.
Sorry, which systems? Which show is that?
I was goofing about what Voldemort's actual play podcast would be using.
Oh, right.
Anyhow,
You were really concerned for a second there, weren't you?
yeah.
Listen,
Like, yeah, with just a change of plan.
I've been
Matt.
around.
We're now going to be playing this.
Yeah.
Yep, this is our... Congratulations, everyone. I've surprised converted us to a new system over the
Oh,
break.
shit, I need to make
Ugh.
a live post, don't I? I knew I was forgetting something.
Mm. But first of all, roll a D200 to determine how well you slept. No.
Okay.
Everyone knows there'd be more tables than that in Lancer.
I'd always roll a 2.
Buddy. It might be good. It might be like golf, where one's the best.
That's true.
Fucking no one's ever gotten past the art in Lancer to find out what the rules are like.
I usually some hot takes
Fun.
here.
Yeah, I
get
feel,
them-
I'm sure it's
actually-
good. I'm sure they're all competent developers and they spent a long time working on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
I've
Actually,
tried listening
I'm sure it's a
to-
system I would be able to use, but that's not really.
Yeah,
that's not good.
you play games which are like, now take out your ruler and
Yeah.
get a fucking what's the thing, like a compass, you know, the little
Yeah.
metal arm thing.
Yeah, protractor.
Yeah, that's it.
Kind of think we
Man.
might have gotten a little bit sidetracked.
When
Just a little. Okay, so last time, what
Are we
happened?
live?
Yeah, we've been
Oh,
live for
oh.
a while, man.
yeah, Haggard's
Yeah.
ruined the intro, and you know,
Like this is all going straight
is
into
real
the
life.
ether, man.
yeah,
All right.
the Lancer developers are already en route to Matt's
Yeah.
house.
We've
track him
already
down.
been sued.
What, me?
Yeah, you,
I was
Matt,
not-
you started
I was-
off. You
I
said,
know.
"Man, I fucking hate Lancer."
Don't gaslight
Oh.
him, bro.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
So,
Goofing off.
the continent of well, not even the continent of PATHCO, pretty much predominantly the Midlands are being invaded. So, you know, there's that. Yourselves already, you know, killed that big baboon guy. Everyone remember that? That was
Yeah,
fun.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
It's horrible, horrible nipple rings.
And his horrible nipple rings and his, like, 4 nipples.
What, that was never part of the thing.
Did he not have multiple nipples?
No,
Oh, yeah.
that was
I thought he
never a
might
thing.
Yeah,
have.
Yes.
nipple rings. That's
That's
bad.
that's
okay?
entirely your stuff,
I
man.
would rather
Alright.
look
Which
at someone
that's
that
why,
has
like,
nipple
you're the
rings
DM,
that
so
have
to be
nipple
fair,
rings.
like I might
That
have
means
to
it's
now
actual
draw
canon.
a
Please
second
don't.
pair.
Please
I'm already
don't.
on my way.
Ugh. Yeah, so
Already en
you
route.
you defeated Babby in Riverton. You then went to Thorshaven and caused a diplomatic incident. All diplomatic incidents do involve horses. You then
They do with PATHCO anyway.
they do with you guys. Then you went to Scumport and found out that there was a weird sort of Civil War style thing ongoing. You helped the Tide Knights defeat some sort of Eldritchman.
It's been back.
And his bin bags.
You insulted a skeleton to death in the Haunted Forest.
We
That was
did.
fun.
You just fucking tore down that guy's life,
Yeah,
and then he fell in a pit.
We really did.
Yeah. And now you're en route to the Free Republic of Scumport, probably. Hang on, let me check with the
Which
map.
one's that again?
I don't know.
The one we've yet to mess up.
It's the
The
Republic
FSR
of
as opposed to
Free
the
Scumport.
RFS.
Yeah, exactly. And fuck the People's Republic of Judea.
Republic of Free Scumport, the bad ones. The ones that are to the left of the ass, the left ass cheek, as opposed to below the ass, which is, I guess,
to the left of your ass. Oh yeah, you did also go to the ass, but that's pretty much just a shot and a con artist.
Yeah, it was an interesting detour, but it was a filler episode. If it was a TV show. Light in the mood.
Yeah, that's it, I feel like it's important to, have some chill time at the ass.
Yeah, sure, man.
It's just,
let's just keep fucking going.
To the ass. Anyway, so then yourselves are en route into the Republic of Free Scumport. You've all gotten your free Scumportian passports signed, which are just like a folded piece of paper because it's only existed for like 2 days. I think there was talk of you guys heading to the Guild of Interlopers, which is it's one of the sort of major guilds that form part of the Republic of Free Scumport. It's a relatively recent guild. Last few months, it's sort of come to popularity, I suppose. It's come into vogue, and you also know that its symbol is a little trotting man walking on the surface of the sun.
What did it do again?
It's a tourist agency.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a tourism board.
Yeah, it's essentially it's a travel agent more than a tourist board because they're more like here sucks, go somewhere else.
Okay, yeah.
As opposed to being like come here, because literally the only people who do that in Scumport are the Scumport Tower Museum and Gift Shop. Yeah.
It's worth a trip there once, but
I don't know, but frankly every time I go, I find something new to discover and love. This podcast is now sponsored by the Scumportian Travel Board, which again is mostly the gift shop staff of the Scumport Tar Pits. The Republic of Free Scumport, it's very similar to the Free Scumportian Republic. You come across and it's not like there's a stellar difference. The actual people walking the streets and stuff, especially as it's kind of evening time right now, are well-to-do people taking the airs. There's explicitly not kind of the usual signs of Scumport, like little stalls and people fighting each other.
Rats the size of small horses.
Horses the size of large rats, yes. And you also notice that there are militiamen, which are people dressed in like chainmail, but then like a tabard. Big oversheet thing of the guild that they represent, or the sort of noble family that they represent. So the Republic of Free Scumport doesn't really have an army so much as it has like 25 separate small militias. You also know that the Guild of Interlopers is pretty much in the middle of the Republic of Free Scumport, in a large square with a fountain on it. It's on the very top of the square. Yes. So, what are yourselves doing?
Right.
We've gone past the whole cinematic, and now we've done that slightly jarring moment where it swaps from pre-rendered cutscene to in-game engine. Every model drops like 200 pixels in quality. It's great.
Oh, so it's a Bethesda game.
I was thinking of Skate specifically for some reason, but yeah, whatever's good. I think they're making a new Skate game, by the way. Have you heard?
Yeah, I've heard that.
I'm delighted.
Can I play Tony Hawk?
Great. They're making a new Tony Hawk as well.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. Sadly, not my
he's on a Zimmer frame
old
this
man
time.
Tony Hawk. Look, we can talk about old man Tony Hawk, but we can't do it on this podcast because we'll be here for 100 years.
We'll be here forever. Okay. So yeah, I think just to recap our objective in this entire thing.
No, did I not say that? I probably should have said that, huh?
Yeah, I thought it might be handy. Basically, we are looking to disrupt the new Scumportian Republic. That's where we are, right?
Literally the Free Scumport, the Republic of Free Scumport.
Ah, shit.
Specifically, we are trying to get them not to bother the Gladiators' Quarter.
Yeah, indeed.
There are a multitude of ways that you could do that. We could mess them up, we could try and persuade them, or those are basically the two options.
Yep.
I don't know where else I was going with
It's a binary thing.
Yeah.
When you're a hammer, everything looks like nails. Pathfinder.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, So yeah, and basically the whole goal of that is that if we get that done, the arena master from the
Oh, a shadow just fell over your face, by the way.
just fell over my face. Yeah, who we know is actually Seth, who we've met before.
We saved his life.
Yeah, and basically, if we get the Republic of Free Scumport
There we go.
off his back, he is going to lend us some warriors so that we can stage an attack towards the fledgling Empire of Sobek on the other side of the river.
Decided yet whether we are going to go through the bridge protectorate or if we're just gonna completely ignore them and use the Titanite boats?
That's a good
That's
question.
a valid question.
We could do like a pincer attack thing.
Yeah,
They
I
all
think
want-
we were
Well, we'd
mooting-
have to persuade the protectorate to come past us, and they are apparently, I don't actually know, it doesn't say.
They're kind of the remnants of the Scumportian City Guard. Pretty much as soon as everything hit the fan, they just kind of retreated onto the bridge, and they've been pretty much wrestling referee style, trying to keep people apart ever since.
Yeah.
Oh, if we've got some Tide Knights and we've got all of the gladiators, we could probably just steamroller them if they don't get out of the way.
That's true.
I think we'd maybe mooted there was a kind of chain. If we free Republic of Free Scumport, when the gladiators come on board. If the gladiators come on board, they can then head across the bridge, and then start shit on the bridge. Like even, and then we can take the boats down the bottom side and like come in from the bottom while Seth basically does a feint. Or, hey, Seth's pretty good. It could be a feint that actually turns into a good attack if they can get all the way through. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, indeed.
Because we've also got Aunt Tilda on board now that we've helped her out.
That is
so
true. That is true.
Got her boat too. Fireball 2.
Indeed.
I think it's the Fireball 1.5, but I don't remember. Does it have a list of
What happened to the first one? Did we destroy it?
It was
Yeah, that was
partially
accidentally
during
destroyed
Sea
by
Storms'
me
Scunport.
using the Genie Wish. It was the same Genie Wish that swapped Polly and Thyra. I
Great
think.
work.
Oh, it was a different one, I think. At any rate.
I don't know that
it
we
got-
had that many Genie Wishes. I think it was just a bad storm. I forget too.
Maybe. Well, then again, but if it was just a bad storm, why do I have genies on Dave's list of enemies?
Because of the self-titled incident where they did the old switcheroo with Apollyon and Thyra.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. He likes
No.
that more than he likes Polly.
That's not hard, but I'll take it. Fantastic.
Actually, I think that's probably a lie. I think he likes them both equally, but the like that comes back is not the same. Or likes him more.
So yeah, approaching this sort of it's like a large sort of hexagonal square. Square is in quotation marks on the sign you see. And it is called Authority Square. It has sort of right. It has sort of large buildings representing most of the major guilds that form up the Republic. This was kind of the central square of this district of the city before it was a republic anyway, so you know, there's not really been that much switch around.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's some wealthier folks sort of taking the airs and stuff. There's a few messengers and couriers and stuff running about. And yeah, you know, beside that, it's getting quite late in the evening. The lamps are lit. There's one of those folks in a flat cap and like with a long candle on a stick, lighting the lamps. And yeah. Oh, looking up. So the Guild of Interlopers itself is actually based here, and you can hear sort of soft stringed music. And there are lights on the second story of this large. The building actually looks exactly like Luigi's mansion.
Right.
Which game? The first one?
Yeah, the first one. You know, like the nice mansion that he gets at the end. That.
I've not actually played it.
Except without the big Luigi symbol. Yeah, but you can see from the big windows on the second floor that there is clearly a ball occurring.
Okay. Well, then. That's interesting, isn't it?
Ball, huh?
Oh, also you can still see the glowing serpentine eye in the sky from
Yeah, we're used to
that
that
you
now.
sort of fell
yeah,
through.
we're just used to that. Like,
Yeah.
now it's
It's no big deal.
it's
Yeah,
like the
I think it's like
evening
blood
sun.
moons in Breath of the Wild. Like you're just like, okay,
Yeah.
well this is annoying, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Reminds Polly of home.
Yeah,
Winters.
which is not nice.
That's just summertime in Ossenheim. Ominous glowing eyes in the sky. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
lovely.
kind of.
Worth.
Hmm.
So yeah, what are you guys doing?
Oh, I think we should try the diplomacy thing first,
Hmm.
because you can try the diplomacy thing first and then do the violence thing, but you can't do it the other way around.
That
Not very easily.
That's a good point. It's harder, son.
I mean, that's arguable. There's definitely an argument to be made for first walloping them and then starting the negotiations.
It's
Oh,
called
you could always
aggressive
do-
negotiations.
You could always do ABA. You could try the negotiation, it doesn't work, you wallow them, and then you can try the negotiation
That
again.
I like.
Or
that.
you can do A plus B and have good cop, bad cop.
That's also
This is true.
also a good one.
I'm just...
Okay.
So,
And is
there's a
all
fancy
human
kind of
interaction
thing.
just different balances of violence and diplomacy? Is that how that works?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck, is Pathfinder right about something? No, hang on,
no.
there's deception as well, never mind.
That's true. Okay. So yeah, I think what is probably our best call here is just to go and scope out the ball. Does it seem like the Guild of Interlopers is sort of the biggest one around here? Or-
We established they're the ones in charge.
Oh
right?
right,
Haven't we?
okay.
Yeah, they're kind of they're a startup. They're relatively sort of new. They've grabbed a lot of land quite quickly, and they seem to be a driving force in the Republic.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, as a guild, they're like 6 months old or something. You know, it's just rapid expansion.
Right. Okay.
As you know, Magitech and bullshit like that become more popular, it becomes easier to be shitty tourists.
Indeed.
It's what's the thing that's
Do they do like video tours?
Apparatus tours.
Maybe. I hadn't thought about it, but that seems like, you know what it is? I bet you can probably hire someone with an apparat sphere to go on holiday with you, and then like other people can just tap in via spell or something. Anyway, they're terrible people.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to flex on like your colleagues.
Right. Now, guys at work, I'm going on holiday, but I'm going to leave a live apparat sphere here so that you can all see how wonderful my time in panel is.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
All these horses and people and horse people I'm meeting.
That's a good point. It's a nice town, which we've never seen on screen.
Never
and
seen on
if
screen.
World Tour is anything to judge by, never will.
Okay. Yeah, I think Apollyon is going to be all for going to the ball, although I think what he will try to do is to... Actually, I don't know. Would he try to sneak in because, like, he doesn't give a shit about balls and stuff because of his upbringing? Or would he just... Would the sort of narcissistic side of him take over and just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking mess with all these people and look cool while doing it? I don't know. What do you guys
A
think?
good question, because he is very narcissistic.
I know what Dave's gonna do. Dave's gonna give his magic sleeves a good old shake and suddenly become the fanciest boy. I'm
It's the
ready.
same as normal, there's just Baishi sparkles.
I like, you know, like you know, stockings and a cape and fancy shoes and stuff.
His sleeves get very puffy all of a sudden. You know those big puffy sleeves that you got?
Yes.
Nah.
I don't know about that because they're probably the same size as his head.
Nah.
But
That's how you know that you're the fanciest. If your sleeves are smaller than your head, just get out. What the fuck are you doing?
I'd like to say that he's fancy with some taste, but then again, he is 17, so
That's also a
the
fair
equivalent
point.
thereof.
And he does have Wisdom 9.
He has a
Oh,
wisdom
good
9.
Does wisdom
pretty sure
determine fashion sense now?
fashion
Because I have some
sense.
questions.
Well, sense motive is a wisdom, so sense fashion, I assume. Is
That's a good
similar.
point. Glanvar, Sigmund, what do you guys think?
Apparently they don't.
I'm happy
No
to
false head
follow.
Gentle lounge music.
I'm happy
No,
to
I'm-
follow. I'm happy to follow Dave's lead. Sigmund is, I think.
If you give your with mithril armor, you look pretty damn fancy already.
That's a good point.
The problem
Maybe
is
you
Regular-
put like
regular-
a Zekon bow tie on, it'll be great. One of those magnet ones.
Glanvar could like Assassin's Creed up the wall if he wants.
so Glanvar never looks fancy.
No, Glanvar is permanently a murder hobo looking guy, even if he's not a murder hobo.
Especially from the last 2 days where he's been
Oh yeah.
drowned, swallowed.
It's been
let's be
drowned,
honest,
shot,
digested.
poisoned.
Set on
It's
fire.
It's highly unlikely he's had a chance to launder his tunic, so it is probably covered in combination of
His own blood.
water from the
River scum.
Yeah,
from the river,
Oh.
and also crocodile blood.
yeah.
Also
delicious.
his own blood.
His
Yes.
own blood. Probably someone else's as well.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
I
it's just a
think,
different
Glanvar's
shade of
gonna-
brown now.
Glanvar's gonna go for the climbing the wall.
You can do some scouting. You can be our ears and eyes and ears.
He does have both. 2 of both sets, I think. Or
This is
2
what we
of
discover
both.
all along. Both his eyes are wooden.
Oh no,
Oh, that's an aesthetic. Alright, fair enough.
that sounds splintery.
So we'll start with, so is it Dave, Apollyon, and Sigmund are going in through the front door?
I think so.
I don't know. I feel like.
I mean, I'd quite like to see Polly try to park up her building, but I don't think he's going to do it.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I think Napoleon is gonna go into the front, if anything, because I have more. Although, no, actually, it would probably be funnier to see Apollyon fail at being sneaky. Shit. What do I do? This is a harsh dilemma.
Go for the
alright.
funny.
Oh shit. Yeah.
What would Polly do?
What would Polly do?
WWPD.
Would Polly go with the Glamour? Not Glamour. Would Polly try and run up a building? Or would Polly go with Sigmund and Dave?
I mean, the last time Polly and Glanvar hung out, it did go so well.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think we're due for a retake of that. So
Okay.
Napoleon is going to
Good.
go with Glanvar, sort of on stealth team, because he does
Oh, no.
not really like sort of ball gatherings and stuff like that.
I like that we've now come up with Apollion's perspective on balls. Okay, should we go with Dave and Sigmund to begin with?
Sure.
So there are nice stairs up to the door of the Guild of Interlopers, with a ramp at each side. Heading in to the actual lobby, I suppose, the main hall. On the left-hand side are rows upon rows of like train station benches. You know, those very particular horrible benches. The ones that you can't really sit on properly.
No.
Yeah.
What? You do.
You like bus station benches?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Okay. I don't know that there's a huge degree of difference. Sure. And then at the very end of the room there is a desk where a non-binary person with sort of short curled hair, slightly slicked back, but it's kind of towards the end of the day, so it's starting to curl slightly, and sort of very ostentatious dress, sat in a wheelchair, is currently reading a newspaper. They don't especially look up as you come in. There's a set of double stairs up one side of the room.
What happens if we just try and walk past? Confidently. Confidence, Sigmund. That's the
Roll something to indicate confidence.
Roll something
Straight
to
up.
indicate confidence.
Roll something to indicate confidence.
key. Oh, I said the story of charisma, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say bluff would also be reasonable, or deception, whichever one it is. I always forget which one's in D&D 5 and which one's in Pathfinder.
Bluff, yeah.
Which one's the one? Is it? I'm pretty sure it's bluff.
That's my suspicion, because it's the whole kind of act like you belong thing.
Yeah.
I kind of like using perform here, where Dave is just like stringing and unstringing his lute like he's supposed to be part of the band or something.
Well, that was my plan. I was thinking, oh, can I go in and say, oh yeah, I'm in the next slot of entertainment, And then
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
sing
you
some
can-
kind of song about how Scumport should, unite with Scumport and not roll over to a bunch of lizards.
Okay, Bob
See
Dylan.
how that goes
Um,
down. I am very good at singing. I do a plus 18 to sing.
Valid.
Just so you know. That was my plan, anyway.
Okay.
Well, I probably should have said that to, Sigmund, maybe.
Yeah, he'll work it out. He rolls with the punches, it's fine. So are you going up to the desk and saying that, or are you just heading up?
I'm just gonna try and head up.
Fair
As
enough.
though, didn't even cross my mind that we'd be stopped. I don't know if it's gonna work, but, got the go. Do you want me to roll something for that?
Yes.
Okay, well,
why I
I
said
can
so.
use... I can
I wasn't
use
lying.
perform sing in place of bluff, so I'm going to roll perform sing,
Valid.
which has a plus 18. That's a
Ooh,
30.
ow, I just clicked the hell out of my wrist. How did I do that?
Oh.
That sucked.
Oh, I saw this
Ah,
click.
Roll for
Um,
brazenness.
that was very brazen. Yeah, I don't think that the Guildmaster's assistant bats an eyelid. I think they give you a nod, sort of crumple their paper slightly, and can flip the page. You can see on the back page of the newspaper says all sports cancelled due to civil war.
Oh no, not the cricket.
It's wildly
Not the
inconvenient.
cricket.
Fuck.
Scumport
cricket.
cricket.
Where the hell is the cricket ground?
Tar
Water
pits.
quarter.
Maybe.
It's
You
gotta
just
play
have
very
to,
quickly.
Yeah.
you just kind of have to, there are water hazards, but it's not water, and you lose about 20 players a year.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Biosphere 2.
Biosphere 2.
Right. So heading up, yourself and Sigmund are able to head up. There is a sort of semi-landing. Those ones which are essentially just around a door. So coming up to this doorway, you see that there is just taking a peek through the door, you see that there's a large ballroom. There's a long table at one end where there's a few folks sat. There's a large fireplace at the other where a few folks are sort of sat around it. And there is a dance floor in the middle of it where there is, again, some well-dressed folks cutting a line. No, that might be a drugs thing. Cutting a...
I think that is a drugs thing.
Shit. There's some folks are just doing all the
Dancing.
cocaine.
Cutting a rug, I think, is what you're looking
Cutting
for.
a rug, that was it.
What? That doesn't make
Nailed
any
it.
sense either.
No,
They're
that'll
dancing. Just say they're dancing.
They're dancing. They're getting
happen.
the
Doing a
groove.
hot shoe shuffle.
Hmm.
They're getting their groove on.
Yeah. Now, a hot Jimmy Shuffle is actually a wildly painful disease that,
Or torture method.
spread across Scumport a couple of months ago.
They're doing the old tippy toe.
Again, wildly painful disease. Anyway, so yes, you yourselves are approaching from that angle. Apollyon, Glanvar, how are you getting up the outside of the building? Keeping in mind that this is the front of a building in the middle of a city square.
Maybe maybe go around the bit
Say
that
it.
isn't the front.
Can we look for some more darkened areas to climb to see if we can climb up there that way?
That's a good idea.
Sure. Why don't you roll something to indicate sort of tracking down a more stealthy access route?
Come on, perception or stealth?
Actually, I might also ask Glanvar, do you have a rope?
What do you want a rope for?
Well, you see, we can be looking for climbing methods and all, but the thing is, I can fly. So I could just let the rope down.
No, I don't have a rope. I don't use them.
Oh, I see.
Doesn't believe in them.
Captain Tree Climber.
Indeed. Okay, well. Yeah,
I'll
opponent.
be fine. Just
Okay.
find me somewhere dark and I'll get in. It's not like I've not done it before.
Glanvar flashbacking.
Well, can we roll perhaps a knowledge local or a perception or something like that?
That
I
was
was
my
gonna go-
thinking. Like, I feel like any of those would be appropriate. I'm curious what the camera sees.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't actually have fucking points in knowledge local, so it's just gonna be a perception from me, I think.
Same. I'm not
That's
local to this area, so
I mean, I suppose, but I feel like you probably spent time in Skullport in the past. I mean, even on screen, you've spent it a few times.
Yeah, indeed.
Glenvar has spent time in a lot of different places.
Indeed.
That's true.
Which you'd care to forget.
Apollyon has
So-
never spent much time in a part of Skumport that was this fancy.
That's a good point. That is very
As
accurate.
far as I can tell, the time that he spent in Scunpool that wasn't with us was spent like rolling around in ditches looking for, I don't know.
His
Trouble.
Most of his time spent in
Looking
Skumport
for
was
trouble, yeah.
mainly spent in Scum and very little in Port.
Yes.
That is... Shit, did we ever... That's not how this worked, isn't it? It's not like an Ankh-Morpork thing. It was always just Skumport, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was always
Yeah,
just
it's the
Skumport.
river,
It's
it's,
just
the,
a
it's
joke,
a port
yeah.
on the River Scum.
Oh, yes, of
Yeah.
course.
That's the etymology of it.
Right, okay. I was gonna say, I was really confused for a second there. So yeah, I think we get the shot of perhaps going around one of the sides. You notice that from a side street off the main square itself, there's like a gate that's been kind of not entirely locked, or it's something that's easy enough for you to jimmy open slightly, and you can step into like a side yard, which has a couple of kegs propped up in one corner, and there is a drain pipe up the side of the building.
Right.
Amateurs.
Can't get the help nowadays. You know, you can't get the security stuff.
Okay, let me just check how many spells I have remaining. A fair amount, it seems.
I mean, you did rest just after the whole Tide Night thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have been in a fight since then.
True.
Yeah, I might just.
Sounds like
fly
our
up,
escape
to be
vehicle's
honest.
ready to go.
Yeah. So fly is a level 3, is it? Okay.
Fly is only level
Hey.
3? Why haven't you had that before?
I don't know, man. I just didn't have enough fucking slots for level 3 spells.
Is it like economy slots versus like good slots?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Apollyon is just going to be flying up this fucking building.
Fair.
Yeah.
What does Apollyon actually look like when he flies, or does he literally just sort of take off? Is
I
there
think-
any...
Well, I actually have given some thought to that, and I think it's just the funniest if he just fucking takes off. Like, there's no special effects. He just.
There's no wind effect. He just someone fucking control T's him, and he
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
picks up.
Yeah, basically.
Fucking
Drags him
hell.
up.
He just
I
no
like the
clips
idea
into the
that
air.
he's totally static as well. He starts T-posing and then takes off.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Just
No,
like...
yeah, I think it is just sort of hover, like typical hover flying.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can floating upward. There are two large sort of chimney stacks on the actual roof itself,
Nice.
or at the second floor level.
Mhm.
Obviously, the entire second floor is not a ballroom. There are like there's some large windows at the front that do lead into the ballroom, but then there are like 2 or 3 smaller offices that lead off of it.
I see. So basically, we've got the chimneys and we've got a window to.
Yeah, you've got 3 windows leading into small offices and 2 windows at the
Right.
front leading into the ballroom.
Okay. Okay, Glanvar, I think I might have an idea. Actually, I have 2, and one of them involves the chimney.
There is smoke coming up out of the chimney.
I am well aware.
Oh dear.
Actually, I
Oh,
wasn't.
no.
That's actually a problem.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Poor Glanvar's britches.
Yeah. Do I have? I'm seeing.
Glanvar, what are you doing while Apollyon's scouting the territory, by the way?
You see, I kind of had this in my mind that as he was climbing up. So when Polyon says, "I have an idea," Glanvar just appears next to him. Oh, really? What's that?
That's good.
roll a climb check anyway, but I'm assuming it's, you know...
It's
It's fucking
yes.
Glanvar, yeah.
Yeah. Checkbox. 19?
That's 19.
That was off a 6. God
That's
damn.
That's not. Climbing is not a role I am guaranteed to succeed in.
That's debatable. Whatever. Climbing up a drain pipe, I feel like that's, that seems utilitarian enough that I'm not going to be like, ho, you only rolled a 19, the DC was 20. I don't know. Actually, if you rolled like a 6 or something, the drain pipe would start peeling away because that's one of my favorite tropes, but
It's a good one.
it's a very good one. It's very Lupin the 30. Would love a Lupin the Third RPG. Anyway, so yeah, your cells are up on the roof. It's red tiled. Seems new. What are you doing? What was Apollyon's plan, I suppose? Sorry for interrupting.
Well, I was looking at the fact that I have a spell that is called Protection from Energy, which means that I can absorb 12 points per level. Being level 10, that means 120 points of 1 energy type damage.
This is still assuming that you could fit down the chimney.
Yeah, actually, that is sort of riding on that idea. So,
They're not
DM,
that wide. Like I can
how
see
wide
the
are these chimneys?
from where I'm sitting right now, and they are maybe 6 inches wide.
I could send Ryan down them.
You definitely could send Ryan down the chimney.
Yeah. But to come back to that vital question that we are all wondering about, how big are these chimneys?
I'm never going to put a chimney in a game that you couldn't climb down. What the fuck?
Okay, agreeable.
As wide as whichever one of Polio. Well, it's got to be Glanville, right?
Yeah, I think Glanvar's sort of broader than Apollyon is.
Yeah, if anything, because Apollyon is just a beanstalk. Okay.
Yeah, I mean Thyra's curvy too. That's not like it's not a critique. I would just like,
Okay, so the thing is, Protection from Energy is also level 3 spell, so I'm not sure whether I want to be wasting it on...
It is pretty expensive.
Fucking Santa Clausing this shit.
I mean...
Oh, travelers!
We could always just throw a cape over the top of it, cause the smoke to back out, which means they'll put the fire out.
Oh my god, I thought you were going to say and gas them.
God.
I was like, woof.
Wow.
I mean, it's carbon monoxide, so it might do a job, but...
Ooh. Don't do that.
Dave's in there.
That is
He's
true.
the first to pass out as well.
Oh no. Yeah,
I said make them put it out!
Yeah, I know.
What's the
Okay.
plan here, guys, or should we swap back over to Dave and Sigmund quickly?
I have my other plan that I would like to pitch
What is
to
your
you.
other plan, Apollyon?
My other plan is to dress up like a dashing rogue, enter through the window of the offices, and pretend to have entered through the wrong window for a late night romantic secret meeting.
At a travel agent's.
Yes.
I mean, you certainly could.
I'll think on it.
It's a bold call. I'll give you that. Dave, Sigmund, what are you doing?
Definitely that.
What are we doing?
Just holistically, where do you see your life going? What is life in 5 years like
How's the
today?
music? How much does it or does it not offend?
It's
Quite good.
a bit. It's like those kind of typical kind of crowd pleaser style songs. Like there are people up and dancing because it's a song they know. It's broad appeal. You're not going to hear anything challenging. They're playing. I don't want to push any bands under the bus because we already pushed enough RPG designers under the bus at the beginning of the stream.
The Scumport version of like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
See, that was exactly what I was just about to not do. I'll tap my feet along to some Ed Sheeran.
He's not very exciting though, is he?
No, I suppose not.
I'm
It's
saying
like
that I don't like it some stuff, but I just think he's a bit boring.
I would never deliberately listen to Mumford and Sons, but Mumford Sons and Sons songs are bangers. So that I suppose.
Alright.
It's just real life fantasy Mumford and Sons.
Okay.
They're all orcs, but aside from that, it's just the band.
Mumford and Orcs.
Yeah.
Books.
Mumfork and Sons. Anyway, what are you guys doing? just as a kind of recap of the space, I suppose, it's a large sort of ballroom space.
What are we doing?
There are folks sort of carousing at a large table at one end. I'm just going to sketch a little map, actually, and then that's something
That
for you to
sounds
have in
good.
your head. So there's a ballroom here. There's the door that yourselves are coming in through, which is up in the top left. 3 small offices on the sort of right-hand side, I suppose, coming out the
it's
side
down
of the
here.
room. Windows at the 2 large windows at the front side, I suppose, looking out over the square. A fireplace at one side, with some like assorted chairs around it, and a long table at the other side. And then there's also a little dance floor at the in the middle of the room, I suppose, and a tiny stage.
Okay. And we've come in through that door at the top.
Yep.
That's the only one, by the looks of it.
I misspelled the word Sigmund, adding these notes. There you go. So that whole kind of vibe, that's the kind of space at the moment, I suppose.
Oh, this is a door, is it? I thought that was the door.
These are also doors. They're the doors to the offices.
The doors and the windows being the same is a bit confusing.
I don't know how to change. Hang on, let me.
I assumed that one was the door because it looks different. It's just a line as opposed to a box.
Yeah, that was me mistyping.
Oh.
I'm not doing well in terms of selecting stuff in Roll20 today. I literally can't fix the other door. There we go. Okay, so doors are blue and I'll make windows white or something. Does that help?
Yes.
Good. And I can't fix the other window either. Doing well. There we are. Hope that helps. And I think pretty much everything else is labeled. So, yeah. There's a sort of, there's a decent number of people in the room, I suppose. You know, it's at the stage of the party where the meal proper has finished. So there are folks up and dancing. The band started up again. There are some folks who've thingied to the fire, retreated to the fire to you know, sit around and chat. And there are still some folks sat at a large, I was going to say eating table. That's not right. Dinner table, sort of chatting as well, I suppose. As you're peeking in... sorry, after you.
What is the vibe as we walk in? Like, does we get stared at? Does no one spare a second glance?
No one really spares a second glance. Like, of the people who are sort of talking amongst themselves, they're all, you know, they're kind of quite engrossed in their conversations, I suppose, or engrossed in their conversations.
Yeah.
Engrossed in their conversation.
Engrossed.
If you'd like, as you're entering the space, you can roll something to identify some, you know, I was going to say talking heads, but you know what I mean, some notable individuals.
Yeah, because I
or
was
alternatively,
thinking
is there anything else you
maybe
guys would like to do?
here,
By all means.
Sigmund, if you do some mingling at the dinner table, try and find out who's who, and like, you know, who might be the good targets. Try and lay this on, this diplomacy, while I try and persuade the band to let me have a go, give them a break.
Okay.
Notorious mingler Sigmund von Beck.
I mean, you can try and dance with some people, but as I recall, the last time you did some dancing in a bar, you dropped the head of an undead family.
Just the head?
That is right. That's what
I mean,
a great.
it's not out of the
anecdote.
question with fucking.
That's a good point.
Good point.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I will. I'll just.
And you'll get to eat some food for free.
I do like free food. Do you wanna...
Grab me some of the tapenade.
I probably won't. I will eat it myself. Actually, no, I will. I'll get you some, buddy. I'll make sure I don't.
Hors d'oeuvres.
3 out of 6 of the pouches on Sigmund's belt are just full of stolen buffet food.
Hey, look, that table had wings.
I mean, valid. Like, I like a good wing as much as the next guy. Don't really care for the blue cheese sauce. I'll just eat whatever. I prefer them by themselves. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I was going to say the Jack Daniels, but that doesn't live there. Jackery Danielson.
Okay. That's not how fancy names work.
It is exactly how
It's
fancy
exactly
names
how
work.
Strong disagree. At least put a fantasy race name in there somewhere. No, please don't. Jack Daniels. Is that a thing?
Well,
Anyway.
well, there's just there's just so many. What's the word I'm looking for? Apostrophes in there. That's how you can tell it's a fantasy name.
Indeed.
Oh, that's a good point.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you want a diplomacy check for me, like reading the room?
Yeah, I'd say a diplomacy check. I mean, alternatively sense motive or perception, entirely your call. Or if, I suppose, is the shot Sigmund mingling?
Yeah.
Yeah, then diplomacy seems reasonable, fair enough.
Yeah, I talked myself out of perception, which I have much more ranks in, but let's. I think diplomacy is the more honest.
It's the more Sigmund thing to do, I think. Oop, just boop the map because I forgot you could do that in Roll20.
Ooh, actually, oh no, I don't. Sorry, that's not a class skill. But you can only. What's the Oh, it's usable untrained. That's what the thing. Is.
The little star? Okay.
I would have thought it'd be the other way around. Seems like it would make sense to mark the ones that you can only use trained from the ones that you can use untrained, but that's just me.
Yeah. To be fair, this sheet we're using is now literally 5 years old, so...
I think that's a more Pathfindery thing. Well, that's 8.
Whap whap. So for an 8, you're able to get kind of a casual observation of the crowd, I suppose. Most people seem more inclined to talking about themselves than they do about other people. You're in that kind of party. So, you know, you managed to get the basics. You know that this is a party to sort of congratulate themselves for the Council of the Republic of Free Scumport. You know that the entire council are here. Although the only name that you actually hear in passing is Horiner Crest, who is the head of the Republic. Well, he's the head of the Guild of Interlopers. And as such, de facto sort of public relations man for the council. But he's pointed out to you in the crowd. He's the Brian Blessed face claim for this arc. So cool. He's a largish man with a great big bushy beard, quite short hair, kind of thingy back a little bit out of his eyes, and he is feeding scraps under the table to a crocodile with a large bow on its head.
Oh hey!
Is that the crocodile that came up earlier?
Wouldn't it be really weird if there were two people who owned crocodiles with bows on their head?
I mean, you could have started a trend.
That's a good point. It's the same
rich
guy.
People.
Yeah, but you're also aware that the Council of the Republic of Free Scumport, God, that's a mouthful. You know that it's a 4-person council and that all of them are in the room at the moment.
Let's. Can I take an animal handling on this crocodile? I want to impress its owner by handling it in a suitable and respectful manner.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to get it to like me, using some hors d'oeuvres.
I mean, that's basically what he's doing.
Jealous look. It wants to be stroking the crocodile.
Oh fuck! I had some notes on the party theme. Can I go through these quickly?
Sure,
yeah.
So yes, it's a rich people party. They have to have themes, Dave.
Oh.
So the theme for the party is... Crap, where are my notes on it? Oh, the theme is the elven expanses of forest to the west, which apparently Horiner spent much of his youth exploring. So there's
well, in
tree
that
branches...
case, I will have seen what people were wearing, changed my magic sleeves before I walked in.
Yes, it's definitely like, it's bad elven high fashion, so it's you know, whatever's made its way to Scumport. It's, you know, stuff that people it's like Tolkien's elves kind of looking stuff, but it's also like that if it was from the second Handrak.
So, like,
It's-
just slightly the side of cultural appropriation you probably
Yep.
would not like to be on. Yeah.
Again, this is a party being thrown in the upper story of a travel agency.
Yeah, that is a fair point.
There are like hanging curtains of leaves everywhere. Vines are sort of woven around the roof rafters. There is authentic quote-unquote elven cuisine, and a literal stag is chilling on a rock in the corner of the room.
Livestock.
Okay, Apollion's
Yeah.
really not going to like this.
Yeah, it's just a full-size stag.
Stag party, eh?
Yeah,
That's good.
that's a good one.
If
Well
Caesar
done,
Stag
Haggis.
starts missing Dwayne Johnson, even though it's only been like 12 hours.
Sigmund is making notes to himself, and it says, Apollyon raises dead on stag, question mark?
Oh, I thought it was a live stag.
Yeah, it's a live stag. It's even doing
Kill stag!
it's that
No!
whiskey bottle style
Again!
thing that's got like one leg raised, like it's looking majestic. But
Is
roll
this
a
just-
sense motive check for me, Sigmund.
Is this a druid who's just professional party animal? Literally.
Good job.
So what did you say you wanted from me there? Is it the hand
Sense motive or perception?
Uh,
Just as an aside, and no consequences. This is a
yeah,
fortune roll.
25.
It is sort of chewing its lips slightly and looking around boredly in a very human manner. Yeah, it looks increasingly bored with the scenario, and it gives you a nod of the head when it notices you looking towards him.
I'll give it a nod back solemnly. And raise
It gives you like a,
Yeah.
its nod was like an "alright, mate" kind of thing. Like, you know, it's a gig staff druid.
That's
Right.
good.
Do you want this handle animal check for the crocodile then?
Yes, please.
16. That's not bad.
Not bad.
16 is very good.
Depends
You
on
take
how crotchety the crocodile is.
the crocodile is you know, I mean it's a
But
crocodile
clearly
to an
it's not
extent, but you know
crotchety
it's
enough. It's tasteful enough that you could put a bow on it.
it's tasteful enough.
Therefore, more
Yeah.
docile than my dog, for example.
See, there you go. I think you have kind of a tense moment with it as you're sort of tossing food down to it. It's eating the food, but it is kind of making eye contact with you. But then after a sort of pause, the crocodile rolls onto its back and sort of bears its stomach.
Okay,
What do you
I give it a scritch.
After a sort of couple of moments, it just sort of wriggles pleasantly and seems quite appreciative of that. And I think the largest man who is on the other side of you sort of pats the crocodile on the head and says, "Ha ha! Oh, she seems to like you. Wonderful. Hegemonia can be so fussy with guests." And he pats you on the back, but he is a very largish man. So it's slightly the kind of Knox window you pat on the back.
Well, I'm also a largest man.
That's a good point. Roll a fortitude save.
Roll largest man.
Roll your size category. 1d20 plus size category. Fuck, I'm not even going there.
Right, no, fortitude you wanted, right?
Yeah, by all means.
Just for shit.
23.
23. It's like a big woof, but he doesn't knock the wind out of you. But you know that was the
I know.
intention.
Yeah. Ha ha! A fine creature you've got here. A local breed or a specialist?
Oh, specialist! I had her brought in especially from the mysterious elven woods to the far west. I spent much of my young life there, you know. So yes, it was very important for me to bring back a symbol of those lands, I suppose, when it finally became time for me to come home. And I chose Hegemonia here. And he gives her another pat, and she sort of snaps slightly at his fingers, and he chuckles.
Oh, I suppose we have you to thank for this wonderful theme here tonight, then.
Yes, indeed. It was
Which
my
you've
call.
not dressed by.
Yeah, he is not dressed for the theme either. He's just in like kind of a nice waistcoat. But like different people have gone varying amounts into the theme. There is definitely someone who's like in what's that shitty Welsh thing that I don't really understand? The thing in a bedsheet with a skull on the head.
Oh,
Mary
Mary Louise.
Oh,
Really?
Mary Fluid.
Yeah.
Weird.
You have to sing it.
Yeah. Someone is in that full outfit, but you know, it's there's a spectrum. You're definitely not. Oh, next door's cat just came and poked up in the window. Hi, buddy. That's cute.
Oh yes.
Hard to tell if
Yeah.
that's a descriptor of the event or if that's something that's actually happened.
That's something that actually happened. I know it's my storytelling is so enrapturing it can be hard to tell, but yeah, that was real life, not just fantasy.
Well, that's-
I see. Yes, it's very
No
good.
escape
I
from
mean,
reality.
as you can see, some people have been having some trouble guessing it, but I've come as the ephemeral concept of Mithril.
Oh, I see.
That's quite
I
smart.
thought it was just painted, but up close, of course, it's Mithril itself.
No,
Oh,
check it.
fantastic.
I know, and so light. Look, I can do squats and everything. And he starts doing this. It seems
He watches, and it's like the Sims style thing where he gives you like a polite little clap at the end of it. Excellent. Well, fantastic. It's lovely to see that you've put so much effort into your costume. That person over there in the sheep's head just picked some random articles and put them on and came to the party. They look like a right pillock.
They absolutely do. Sorry, we haven't been introduced. My name's Montgomery Beck. How's it?
Oh, Montgomery Beck. That kind of rings a bell. I think we may have met perhaps at one of these earlier parties.
We may.
My name.
Yes.
My name, just in case we haven't been formally introduced, I do go to so many of these parties.
Oh, I know how it is. Yes, especially
My
after a
name.
few glasses of wine.
Of course, a couple of ports.
This
Fuck.
guy definitely seems like the kind of person who's probably suffering from gout.
Yup. Horner Crest, and he gives you a firm handshake.
Yeah, I come back. We do the proper lean into it.
Yeah, you do the weird, like, heavily masculine, like Top Gun style, like shoulder bump kind of
Oh,
handshake.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Over a
He tries to
crocodile,
touch
just
my
to
hand,
make
but
it more
forgets I'm
memorable.
wearing a gauntlet. So it doesn't
Yes.
come up. Yes.
Ow.
What was the name of the crocodile again?
The crocodile's name is Hegemonia.
Hegemonia. Oh.
And
Beautiful
yeah, it's a
creature.
crocodile with a large blue bow on its head.
Oh, I like the fancy Dave. I just noticed him.
Oh, I haven't been watching the stream. Shit.
No.
The very fancy Dave.
It's an extremely fancy Dave.
Yeah.
An
Hey.
extremely fantasy Dave.
I've only also drawn Apollyon and Glanvor looking down the chimney.
I saw you start drawing that, but I've not seen the finished one. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Point of view, you are a fire.
Yeah, you are a fire.
Oh, that's a good picture of
You're
Horror
the
Craft
you're
as
the
well.
bat
I like
roosting in the chimney of the Guild of Interlopers.
it.
Apparently, it's a fire bat.
I mean, we're playing like a fantasy game that's entirely
Exactly,
within
that's why I said
reason.
it.
Yeah.
There is almost certainly a fire bat.
That reminds me, you guys roll for initiative? No, I'm kidding.
Oh shit!
Um,
I thought you were gonna do battles this time, mate.
yeah, too late. Fire bat.
Shit, we've been
you conjured
duped.
it into
It was all a ruse.
reality. It was all a cunning ruse. Everyone's got a crossbow in the party room.
Including Dave.
To Apollyon,
Uh,
that's perfectly normal.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Dave, what are you up to?
I am looking extremely jealously at Sigmund. He's patting this crocodile.
He's patting this crocodile, and he had a knowing nod with that totally real deer on the other side of the room.
I feel like Dave would be able to recognise a totally real deer, considering he owns a totally real deer.
Oh dear, oh dear.
We assume it's a totally real deer.
Oh, that's a good point. It's bodily. Considering that you own a deer, you can easily tell that that is a man terribly impersonating Scotch whiskey bottles.
Dave shakes his head. Gonna sidle up to the orcs.
Oh, you mean Mumforks and Sons?
Mumforks and Sons, yes.
Fair
Mumforks and
enough.
orcs.
It is an extremely large orcish woman and like 3 smaller orcs around her with large lumberjack beards, all playing banjos. There's no change in the instruments that they play. It's just the fact that they're they still probably wear waistcoats and shit anyway.
Yeah.
They're all wearing like Koroks. They're wearing the kind of big leaf style masks that they wear.
Oh, right, okay.
Kind of lean into the theme slightly.
I do actually have a wooden mask. Could put it on. Nah, I don't see the point.
All right, got a request. The largest. She's like 7 foot tall, and she just kind of stoops to address you.
She's like
She
twice my height,
literally
if not
drops
more.
down to one knee to address you.
I know. Actually, I've been sent to give you a short break.
Oh, I didn't realize it. Our agent didn't tell us that a break was incorporated. Fantastic. She
Well,
pats you on the back.
You're still going to be paid the amount that was agreed. I've just had to go do a bit of break. A bit of a different tune, as you can see. I've got a lute here, as opposed to your lovely banjos.
Fucking sweet. Do you need a background banjoist? I'm sure I can leave one behind if you'd like.
Oh, no, that's all right. I don't actually know. Dave mostly plays on his own. Don't know. It's been a long time since he played with someone else. I'm kind of sad now.
Well, it must have happened on screen sometime. I suppose no one else in PATHCO plays an instrument, which is kind of...
No.
I kind of like that about D&D 5. Like, there's a lot of random junk in it, but I did always like that, when you start the game, you do usually end up with either a playing set of some kind or some kind of instrument.
That's pretty cool.
Can Sig play the drums?
Sigmund's hobnobbing.
He's what?
I'm
sorry?
Are
you allowed to do that in a public place?
He's hobnobbing with the knobs. That's what it's a Terry Pratchettism.
Oh, right, yes. I'm with you now. Yeah. Yeah, they're actually perfectly happy. You own an instrument, and they're just paid to be here, so they're perfectly happy to step off the stage at the end of the next song.
The propaganda machine.
Sounds good. Give it a go for me. What are you propagandizing?
I'm not quite sure. For one hand, I thought I could try and play the Ballad of Bobello, considering that is about. Then again, that's probably got some like pro-troglodyte themes in it, and like it's not really about the troglodytes. It's not really about human. It's not human.
What about it is pro-troglodyte?
Well, it's the point of the Ballad of Bobello, the Dave song, is about like the change can be good. That the Druid trogs were just trying to live lives with their families.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot Druid trogs were involved in that arc.
Then again, it is about overzealous religious fanatics trying to force their will into other people. Which is basically...
It's light listening.
So relatable.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something
so relatable.
Which is A, upbeat. Like, you want to dance to it. And B, it's got, bro... band together to overcome those who will force their will on us, because we are Scunthorpians and we choose for ourselves and that kind of stuff.
I mean, you can definitely give it a go. Either way.
I would like to make a sing check.
Fair enough. And you're doing the band together song?
Yeah, sure.
Fair enough.
Trying to be rousing and thanks to try and give us to talk about if I also go over and do some rubbing of shoulders and try and persuade people to just, butt out of the...
Hobnobbing, yes.
Just try and butt out of the Gladiators arena, if nothing else. So I could also just do another song about, glory of the Gladiator arena.
Oh, that could be funny.
Both. I assume there's got to be, like, whatever the theme is. Do. Gladiator arena. What about for my sing check? Because that is higher than my string check. Do I want to add a golden oh, never mind, it's just rolled.
Good job. It is a 27, to be fair.
It is a 27, but if I added a golden dice, it would have been a 33.
True. That's not how maths work.
I'm surprised that you
too.
still have golden dice while we haven't handed those out for like 2 modules.
We haven't. I
Have we
hoard
not?
them, if you know. Yeah, you've not given any out, I didn't think. I've
Fuck.
got 6.
Okay, we should remind me. We'll do that later.
Okay.
For a 27, so you're essentially singing about how we should all band together, right?
Yeah, or we've got a choice. We are Scunthorpians.
What are you trying to instill in the crowd?
Try and tell the crowd that, you know, the bond that they share with each other is more important than what other people from outside will try and tell you is important. Like, weird religions. Or even non-weird religions, any kind of religion. Just for example.
That's fair. So it's a song of community, and I think you do see people growing closer together. You know, there are a couple of folks who clink glasses together at that and seem sort of thrilled with themselves. Seem to be having a better time because of it. Off in the corner where they're at their own sort of side table now that they're not playing, you see Mumfork and Sons. The mother orc is able to put her arms around all 4 of her children and squeeze them together. I think Horror Crest at your table, Sigmund, does sort of pause and give Hegemonia a little scratch under the chin as well. And,
a lot of chin to scratch.
There's a lot of chin to scratch. It takes 5 full minutes.
Hegemonia, I love her. She's so beautiful.
Yeah, she's my new favorite character. Oh my god, the fucking deer! Oh my god, like
uncanny
Jesus
deer.
fuck, that's so sinister.
Hey man.
Oh god. He looks like he should have a cigarette.
Yeah, that's a good one actually. I'm just gonna give him like a fucking cigar.
I should put him on the map as well. So yeah, I don't think like it's the audience. There's not really it's not like everyone's suddenly like, yes, we should rage against the machine or anything.
No,
but
that wasn't the point. The point was to warm them up.
Yeah, that's it. And I think it's a thingy instilling song. You know, there's a community in the room now. Folks seem to be folks seem to be a little bit closer together.
Nice.
You gave a whole bunch of people the warm and fuzzies. Make a perception check.
Me? I can do that.
Yes.
I have eyes. Will wish to perceive things.
You have eyes and you must perceive.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you close them, I suppose.
So I close them, yeah.
Ooh,
Get that?
critical.
Ooh, nice! I see everything.
Lovely.
See
Okay,
through the
so
veil of space and time.
while you're playing, you notice a couple of key things in the crowd here. Particularly, you notice that some people aren't responding positively to the song. There's a tabaxi person, a large sort of black and white tabaxi,
What's
in
tabaxi?
a big
person.
cat person.
Oh, I see.
House cat as opposed to Kalji. And they're quite finely dressed, but they seem quite sullen throughout the entire song. Until the song ends. Before the song begun, they were tossing like popcorn chicken or something, like balled food, you know? They were tossing it up into their mouth, and they just kind of keep their eyes on you, but don't necessarily seem to enjoy the song. Until the song finishes, at which point they continue to toss food up into their mouth.
We can see you looking at Discord on the street, by the way.
I am aware.
Nice. As well as that, there is also a dwarven woman at the fireplace. She has a sort of group around her that she is talking with, and she has sort of bald-headed, very very short beard, almost like the Master from old Doctor Who. That kind of little goatee style beard, I suppose.
Oh yeah, that's
Almost like a Fu Manchu.
No, that's different again. It's like
I'm not particularly au fait with beards.
me neither. Does Will Riker have that kind of beard?
Oh, a Riker.
Is that the
It's a
kind
nice
of beard
beard.
that I'm thinking of? It's like a Riker beard.
Okay.
Yeah, and she has digitigrade, digitrade,
Digitigrade.
that the backy leggy ones. She has brass digitigrade legs as well.
Does she look Thoughtshaven?
What?
It's not like
Does
brass.
she look Thorsaven?
No, does she have the Thoughtshaven look?
For
You know?
for a perception check of 30, I'll say yes. I'll say it's the dress, but it's also the fact that like in her inner lapel, she has like a little stamped badge of the symbol of the city. Like some of the stuff Thyra owns has it on, but not like majorly, more just as a like kind of maker's mark. This is like the city's official symbol, you know? But yeah, she has it kind of on like a little stamped sort of token, I suppose. She's wearing like a waistcoat beside that, you know, she's quite well dressed, it's a nice waistcoat. Oh, there's next door's cat as well. Nice. And like kind of a nice inside cape, you know what I mean? It wouldn't hold water or anything, but it's nice if you know your back's away from the fire and you're a little chilly. But she shoots you a couple of looks, but they're more subtle than the Tabaxi person. And also there is a large Gnoll woman, like probably similar scale, if not larger, to the lead singer of Mumfork and Sons. And she continues to dance fervently throughout the middle of the room. She seems delighted.
Okay. She was a totally normal Gnoll, not one with lots of weird eyes.
Nope, regular Gnoll. She actually has several dyed patches. You know how they're essentially hyena people? Some of her black patches are dyed different colors.
Cool.
Yeah. Aesthetic, man.
I've drawn the deer in its full glory.
Yep. I've seen.
I haven't because I can't swap out of Discord.
I'm trying to guess what it would say. My guess was sub, but Hey Man's also pretty
Hey
close.
Man, I think is more gig economy, although I'm down to both.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think at that point we'll swap over to Apollyon and Glanvar, if that's alright.
Sure thing.
We swap over to you. The camera, you know, we do the thing where Dave's face turns around and there's Apollyon's sort of unwashed face.
Okay. Do we hear like the chatter and stuff from the ballroom through the chimney?
Do you hit what? Like just the? Okay, I found the Transformers transition scene, which was what I was thinking of. Yeah, it's that one. I think you can definitely hear the kind of hubbub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think actually Apollyon is going to go with his window plan because the offices seem quite interesting now that everyone is at the ball, basically.
That seems fair.
So I think what Apollyon at least is going to do is he is going to... shit, do I have like... Can I say that I have some like black fabric on me that I can use to make like the stereotypical like thieves mask?
Yeah, I'll say you've got something that can do that, sure. Like, I feel like you probably have... Yeah, hang on, is this a domino mask, or is this like a bandit
the kind that you tie behind the back, like, what's his face, where's in The Princess Bride?
Yeah, it's a domino mask, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh...
Well, that's a domino mask combined with a bandana, but
yeah,
yeah, because a domino mask is just Robin's mask.
Yeah, it doesn't go the whole way around the head; it just sticks on the front mysteriously.
Well, it doesn't cover the whole. It doesn't cover the top of the head, which doesn't matter.
Yeah, mask etiquette, not important.
Yeah, it's what what's his name wears in The Princess Bride, basically.
Yeah.
That.
The Dread Pirate Roberts.
Mostly. Yes.
Man, I fucking love The Princess Bride. Should we do a PATHCO movie night at some point? Just watch the fucking Princess Bride.
also very good.
It's a very good film.
Too.
I've not read the book.
What is?
The film's very good.
I've not read the book, yeah.
I read it before I saw the movie. In I read it like English literature when I was like 14. It was a good pick.
I like that it's very self-referential and kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's a good piece of literature or narrative fiction.
Book about a book, isn't it?
Well, that's exactly it. Or a movie about a book, I suppose. But yes.
All right. Anyhow,
your suitably dread pirate Roberts is
As he ties it on, Glanvar rolls his eyes, as if to say, "Really?"
Yeah, you're culturally appropriating Glanvar's culture here, Mon.
I
Not
think
even Glanvar. Not even Glanvar does
Thieves.
that.
yeah, I think Apollyon is gonna turn to Glanvar, see him doing that, and say, "Oh, come on! If you're going to do it, at least enjoy it a bit." And he is going to try and. Do we think that my fly is still active? Because I can keep it up for 10 minutes before the spell runs out.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Sure.
I don't think it's been 10 minutes yet.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Then I'm going to use the last of my fly to hover down to one of the office windows and try and, do some sleight of hand. Try and get it open.
Okay, it's a standard sort of latchkey lock, I suppose. So, yeah, you can certainly try sleight of hand. I think it'll be trickier than if you tried disable device.
27.
Fair enough. Regardless, I think, yeah, so there are 3
Officers,
officers.
license,
Which one do
baby.
you try for?
Is there any clear difference between the 3?
Yeah, the one in the far corner seems nicer. The doors are made of a nicer material. It's like a corner desk as opposed to a standard flat desk. And there's a drinks club in one corner.
Yep, that's the one.
It's the drinks club. It's always the drinks club. Yeah, you
Are
can.
the windows here?
Yes, you're right.
there-
I forgot the windows.
Is there a building opposite?
No, because there's
And there
yes,
goes
but
my,
it's a little bit of a distance away, I suppose.
there goes my boss entrance idea.
What did you want to do?
My idea was to do an invert a reverse Mario wall kick. Where I jump towards the opposite wall and then kick off through the now open window.
They're pretty cool, man.
There's a lamp post, so you can try it off the lamp post, but it'll be harder.
Depending on how tall the lamppost is, I can probably just swing on top and then just jump normally.
It's not like it's like a gas lamp post. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like a lantern post, I suppose.
let's go for the kick jump off the lamppost then.
Fair enough. Roll acrobatics, I suppose.
I do actually have a button for this one.
My word. Nice.
And I feel like this is some kind of horizontal jump, so I'd be surprised if this wasn't a 45, which is obscene. Yeah, what's the shot?
As Apollyon opens the window, suddenly he hears behind him, "Get out the way!" As Glanvar hops down onto Lamb, kicks off, and sort of does a pirouette a horizontal pirouette as he flies through the window.
Barrel roll.
Yeah, barrel roll. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
Can
Ed.
we? Is this the same office?
Yeah, he's
yeah,
not
I
going
think
to try
so.
and break into a different one.
Could.
Do we get a
It would make
scene where Apollyon does his sleight of hand, gets the window open, goes inside, closes it, and then Glanvar jumps through it?
Might kick it open rather than smash it.
Glanvar rolled a 45, so that's entirely Heggers' call.
35.
I mean, if you want, Glanvar
It does
can
increase
can
by
use the
10
barrel
for
roll.
vertical or horizontal jumps, though.
Well, that just means standing for basically if you're doesn't matter. If you want, Glanvar can do that. You can use the barrel roll
35
to
is
push
still
the doors,
ridiculous.
push the windows open as he goes back through, and say, "Don't do that again."
So the office itself is relatively dim, but I think particularly Glanvar's sort of entrance here,
Hog vision.
it's not exactly,
Discreet.
well, it's quiet, but it's not, it doesn't have no force. So there's a little bit of a jostle of the room, I suppose, as he comes bounding in through the window. And like a mechanism in the ceiling, almost like a pull chart, like a chart that's just like a hook, and then you pull it down, and it kind of goes. One of those comes down.
Where you put your conspiracy balls.
Yeah. It's one of those, but it is essentially a large. It's like an airport map, and it basically says, Empire of Fang's travel plan on it, and it's clearly some beta marketing material. There are still post-it notes saying where things will be amended and stuff. but it's essentially a number of cities within the Empire of Fangs and routes from Scumport to them. And it has Horoner's signature in the bottom right corner.
Uh-huh.
So it's like potential travel routes, stuff that they'd offer, some like apparatsphere pictures of these locations. All of them look very hot, you've noticed. Except up to the very north, you note that there are some very, very much colder places as well. It seems almost like desert, and then maybe one or two which are glaciers. And yeah, that's what 35 gets you. Some additional information.
Oh shit.
So yeah, what are you guys doing? And you can also hear Dave's muffled music. This is when we're timing this out too, so you can hear Dave playing in the background.
Oh, I'd recognise that annoying twerp voice anywhere.
Glanvar doesn't think that poorly of Dave.
Oh, Polly might.
No, he doesn't.
Your bard isn't even slightly an annoying twerp. You're playing the bard wrong. Always be slightly
You're playing the
annoying.
bard wrong because I don't think any of us think he's an annoying twerp.
No, he should be at least slightly an annoying twerp.
I don't know. I mean, I was on the I was watching Standing Stones' stream yesterday, and they had a bard which was Steve Owen.
Okay, that's not annoying at all.
Yeah,
Crikey.
it's very good. It was excellent. Yeah. So I don't know that it's locked, but it's it's quiet in here. What are you guys doing?
Well. I think Apollyon is going to take a look at this map and say, oh, well. Looks like somebody has already got quite a business plan together, don't you think, Glenvar?
It's gonna start rummaging through the drawers and just go.
Pause. Glanvar already like 3 drawers open, rummaging through stuff. Yes.
What have you
Shifty
said
eyes.
now?
Yeah, Apollyon's definitely doing
Looks up.
like... Yeah, Apollyon's definitely doing like sort of the standing like with his hands on his hips, like the dashing rogue stance, for sure.
Fuck's sake.
He's just gonna start wearing this all the time now.
Maybe.
Probably. Sounds a lot like yes to me.
Glanvar rolls something to indicate investigating the desk, by the way. Do you find it more or less helpful if I'm just like roll whatever you want to indicate this action? Would you rather I was like roll perception?
I think we should all know roughly by now which check is relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I know which stuff. Well, I don't know what stuff you guys as characters are better at, I suppose. And
That's not the point.
No, but it is kind of, I suppose, there's stuff that Glanvar is better at, so we'll be more tended to do. You know what I mean? As opposed to me just being like, hey, do the skill Glanvar's terrible at. I don't know. It's something I'm workshopping. What are you doing, Haggis?
I'm going to go rummaging through the desk, trying to find anything else of use or interest.
Roll a rummage.
I was just looking through the skills, and I think perception is the only one because there isn't an investigate skill in Pathfinder.
No, but it could be something like sleight of hand.
Are the drawers locked?
No, but it could be like looking for hidden mechanisms and stuff within the desk, because this is the
Let's go sleight of
fantasy
hand.
adventure story.
We'll do sleight of hand then, looking for hidden shit because that's not what he's good at.
Yes, a 21. Clearly not good at.
I mean, I didn't see what I rolled, but my modifier is like
+5.
5.
+5.
That's still. I don't think most of Thyra's things are +5. I'm just gonna say.
Got lucky.
So I think pouring around, you open a few of the desks and they seem to have like documents, a couple of whiskey glasses, probably some actual reading glasses, like half moon spectacles. But you notice based on, so it's a corner desk, right? But based on the sort of depth of the desk, you figure that there's a false back here, and you're able to pull out all of the drawers, and you've located a locking mechanism. You just don't have it open yet.
Okay.
So it's essentially you pull all 3 drawers out, and you notice that there's a in what looks like a crack in the desk itself. There's actually a small keyhole.
Oh. Well. Can I knock around to sort of try and hear where exactly this keyhole leads? Whether there's like a hollow space in there somewhere?
Yeah, I'll say that, I don't think that needs a roll. I think now that you know it's there, you're able to knock at a certain point, and you notice that it's maybe the size of an A4 sheet of paper in terms of dimensions, maybe a little bit, maybe a couple of books deep.
I see. Okay. Can I tell what kind of lock this is? Like, is it just a tumbling lock? Just something where you need to push all the bars up, or...
How would you know that?
It's a good question. I have no
I don't know enough about
clue.
lockpicking to be able to answer that one.
That's a good point, I suppose.
I do, but
Apollyon is more of a rapscallion. So it's potential, I suppose, that Apollyon does know more about picking locks than Mon does.
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
You can either, give it a go and outright just try a roll to try and pick it, or you can roll some sort of, checking out perception skill, or knowledge engineering for that matter, to try and work it out based on that.
Yeah, I think... Actually, I've got another idea.
Oh dear.
Fireball.
No. Barry! Can you stick your head through this fucking desk and see what's inside? Because you are a ghost.
Sure, I mean, it's not like I was doing much better with this Saturday night, by all means. And I think Barry, Jesus
Gary.
fucking...
Okay.
He planks in midair and sort of pokes his head through. Looks like a couple of manila envelopes. Looks like a coin purse. Looks like a tiny bottle of some really good whiskey, actually. I think I might have had this one on my wedding. This was pretty good.
Okay.
So how's it going with you guys?
I'm good, Barry. Thanks.
That's good.
Yeah.
You weren't going to ask how I was there, were you?
No, not really. But sure.
Okay, good.
You're
That
dead,
would have
Barry. You're
made
dead.
an uncomfortable change in my dynamic. Frankly, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as part of my character
I
arc.
see.
Good talk, buddy.
Understand. Okay.
And
Bye, Barry.
Barry retreats into your boots.
There he goes. Okay. I'm trying to see whether I have anything to... Well, I have thief's tools, so I can just try to fucking lockpick it.
You certainly can.
I will, in fact.
Okay.
Okay, is that a sleight of hand then? Or
Sleight of hand or disabled device, I'd say.
Okay, let's see what I have for disabled device. Not a lot. Is sleight of hand permitted here, or do you specifically want to disable device?
Reduced effect.
Okay. Actually, yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna roll disable device and see whether I fuck it up or not. 12.
So I think you're actually making decent progress.
Mm-hmm.
Your lockpick sort of finds its way quite neatly through, and it does appear to be a tumbler mechanism. So you're kind of jostling them back and forth, and you manage to pop up a couple of them, and you're making decent progress. But then in the middle, roll 1d6, because there's kind of a... And what appears to be some sort of exposed filament catches the end of your little metal sort of bobby pin style tool, and you're shocked for 1d6 points of electric damage.
Oh shit, 4 points of damage.
Yeah,
There it
so
goes.
you're momentarily frazzled. And I think you're kind of thrown backwards slightly, and you probably drop the lockpick. Not that you've lost it or anything, just,
Yeah.
that's the kind of scene, I suppose.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Glanvar says, ha.
Glanvar looks up and goes, ha, that looked like that hurt.
As a matter of fact, it did.
gentle wisp of smoke arising from Apollyon.
Yeah.
Let me have a go.
Was that Glanvar's role in the gang at any point? I mean, my understanding was more he was kind of...
I didn't
Is
say
this
he'd
the
be
kind of-
good at it.
I mean, he could
Fair.
try for sure.
He certainly can. And so long as Apollyon lets you, I suppose, you can use Polly's thieves' tools, I suppose.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, I mean, they still work or anything. It's
Yeah.
not like they've taken any damage.
Knock yourself out, man. Or, well, actually,
Oh yeah,
don't
it was
preferably.
literally not Glanvar's.
Oh, well,
thing,
there we go.
his specialty. I just
Fucking
got
hell.
really fucking lucky.
It isn't, and I feel like it's not something that you've done in quite a long while. But,
I mean, it can roll again if you want. We can apply the disadvantage and put a penalty on it.
no, I was just more going to say, you know, it takes a little bit, but after a while the muscle memory kicks in, and you sort of graze the little filament thing that that Apollyon's pick caught, but you're able to sort of deftly navigate around it, and you pop up the third and final tumbler. And
He says it's about time my bad luck ran to an end.
Glanvar's no good, horrible day.
You can say that again.
And this small sort of inner door swings open.
Nice.
As Barry said, there's a couple of manila envelopes in there. There is a small kind of like sampler bottle of very, very nice whiskey, and a coin purse.
Okay.
Oink, says Polly.
Sleight of hand to yoink the coin purse without him noticing.
Sure, roll it. Apollyon, roll
I will
perception
roll
if you'd like.
perception to contest. There we go.
Apollyon, you notice Glanvar trying to sort of palm a bag of coin.
Hey, I didn't think so, buddy. How much is in there?
There'll be like 3 copper
Fuck.
pieces now.
He throws it over to Apollyon to count whilst he grabs everything else.
Weighing it in your hand, there's 136 gold pieces in there.
Nice.
Glanvar, looking through the remainder, as I said, this is a small, like, sampler bottle of whiskey, but it's the kind of whiskey that, you know, a full bottle of it would be many hundred gold pieces. So even this is probably worth about 50 gold pieces.
Or a very good Molotov cocktail.
Man, God, that's a depressing statement. You're not a Scotch drinker, are you, Glanvar?
I'm a gin drinker.
Woof. I mean, that's its whole other sort of... I mean, if you want to talk about Molotov cocktails. Anyway, and I think beyond that, documents that you find a letter from an academy. It's a letter of expulsion for someone by the name of Anais Crest Miller. And it's very vague on the details, but you're able to tell it was probably... You know the kind of thing where someone gets in trouble and then they're just not seen in school again? That whole kind of vibe. You know, just reading between the lines there. And then the other letter is it's a very sort of crumpled piece of parchment that's sort of kept in this sturdy envelope for, you know, ensuring its safety, I suppose. And it basically... discusses it's someone on the Empire of Fang's side, some sort of generic sort of trader's name, and they're discussing sort of opening up the continent, I suppose, to explorers, but more particularly to paying clients from the other side.
Because, like, that's not inherently a bad thing. If the Empire of Fangs want to, you know, open up their continent, mingle with us, have us mingle with them, that's fine. David was like, yeah, cool, whatever. But don't like it when they come to our town and try to kill us. Not a fan of that.
Most people don't enjoy that, yes.
Reckon there's anything else of interest in here?
There's a drinks globe, and there are bookcases. Sort of looking down the titles of the books, you're fairly aware that this is... You know when someone's got every popular book of the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Someone's had someone fill this library.
Oh,
This isn't something he's picked up himself. He's gone, I would like 200 books, please. And they've picked them.
Can we tell whose office this is exactly?
Yeah, it's Horner Crest's office.
I
It
see.
has his name on the Plaque. Plague?
Okay.
Plaque. I definitely
Plaque.
meant plaque.
Definitely plaque.
Words.
Okay.
Shall we swap over to Dave and Sigmund? Conscious we're coming up to the 2 hours here, so perhaps let's get some Dave and Sig action for a moment.
Sure.
Sure.
Sure. Cool.
Sigmund punches an oval and starts a
doubt.
fight.
Yep. Mum, Fork, and Son start playing the cantina music from Star Wars, and a full rich person brawl breaks out.
Also, the reigns of Castamere.
No.
Ugh, I mean, everyone does have crossbows there. We have
We have established that.
Out of interest, you know that style of music they play in the cantina bands? Do you know what that type of music is called?
Yeah, it's called jizz music.
It is indeed called jizz music. There you go. That
Okay,
was.
Of course it is.
It's called
Hey,
what,
look,
sorry?
Jizz music, Haggis. Have you
That
ever
is
heard jizz music?
That is canon. Listen,
Yeah.
I just found out about the Whills last night, so
Anyway.
don't go down that hole, people. So yes, I guess Sigmund is he's talking to his new good friend here, and it's like awful disrupting with all of this political situation at the moment. I hear they've cancelled the sport.
They have indeed. It was awful business, really.
Do they know when it's coming back? I'm really missing the cricket.
Yes, I mean, we were having a very good season. Only lost 15 players so far this year.
That's under the
a
Oracle. It is, particularly for the way the weather's been in. Sometimes you can have the tar bubbling a bit more this time of year.
Yes,
Yeah.
tar bubbles. That's the sign of a bad season.
It
Tar
absolutely
bubble too much, someone gets blinded.
Yeah, tar bubble not enough. Well, you're just giving your opponents the home field advantage. What's
Well,
the point
that's
of?
it.
Indeed.
What's the point in training on a tar pit
if you can't
it
make
doesn't
use?
bubble enough?
Yes, indeed, absolutely. We are of a mind. It would seem.
Indeed. Always nice to see another scaly lover. And he pats Hegemonia's head.
Yes. Well, I hear our friends across the rivers are also scaly lovers themselves.
Ah, yes, well, the fledgling Empire folks aren't so bad, really. I think, Sobek's a bit small-minded, but, he seems perfectly happy to sit around in his sort of, little province, I suppose. It's a little too small in scope for me, Sigmund. But
what do you shoot him for?
What name did you give him?
Montgomery
Beck.
Yeah.
It's a little small-minded for me, Montgomery, but still.
Oh, please call me Monty, all my friends.
Monty Beck. That's really ringing a bell for some reason. And I'm sure it'll come
Did you
to me.
suggest that this dude knows Montbeck? If someone knows who Montbeck is, then we already know that Montbeck is a terrible spy. We already know this.
I mean, I do find it quite funny for him to be a spy and sort of vaguely associated with the Guild of Interlopers.
We do know that he went on holiday.
That is true, actually. Holy
he
shit!
got his package deal through the Guild of Interlopers.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's funny how shit lines up, huh? It's almost like someone sort of intrinsically planned it out, huh? Anyway, Sigmund, what were you doing?
Yes. So the general principle, we don't have to RP it out, but Sigmund's pumping him through for about the current state of, basically, just pumping him through for about this region and how it compares to Sobek's like fledgling empire, and
Fair enough. Getting like a geopolitical situation.
He's
overview.
looking for like, if he can get the gladiators, like see what the feeling about the gladiators is as well.
Sure.
idea. That was going to be my plan.
Roll something to symbolize that.
Okay. I will roll.
Good start. It's a bold move and a decisive one, and I like it.
It's bold but not decisive.
Bold, yet indecisive.
Almost by definition. What I'm going, I think this has to be a diplomacy again, even though it's not a good skill for me. I guess bluff, maybe diplomacy.
I feel like it could be bluff. I mean, you are kind of you've put together this
Bluff
fake
is worth
identity.
actually looking at it.
That's weird because I always think of Sigmund as a backup party face. Does he just normally roll quite well?
Well, he's got good charisma.
Oh, fair enough. So even if his skill ranks aren't great,
Yeah, that's fighters don't get many skill ranks. So
fair.
Bards get quite a lot.
I'm gonna go over diplomacy. I'm gonna stick with my original plan here, just because this is a very the fake identity isn't even as much as a thing, because this guy thinks he's met me before. He's met lots of people like Sigmund is pretending to be.
It's not
I
like
mean, he's a
Monbeck
travel
looks
agent.
anything like Monbeck.
That's a good point.
It's wildly different. Monbeck is a big white guy.
So I think for an 11, what you're able to sort of glean from him, I suppose, is that he's a member of the council. He's not actually the sole seat of power in the Republic of Free Scumport. And he doesn't really have anything against the Gladiators Quarter. Instead, I think essentially the Council of the Republic of Free Scumport, it's a really long title, I need to come up with a better one, is 4 people, and right now they're kind of tied on whether to continue the attacks against the Gladiators Quarter or whether they're going to stop them. And because it's a council of 4, So because of that, they're just saying, oh, well, status quo, might as well keep doing it. Guilty until proven innocent. So the council, I suppose, is Horror Crest, who you've met, Calico Stewart, who is the head of the Guild of Assassins, Sylvia Murray, who is the ambassador to Thor's Haven, and Tyr Savant, who is the head of the Guild of Artists and Astronomancy.
I like that.
Yeah.
So could you quickly go over those again, just a second?
Yes, someone who isn't me should write those down.
I am
Yeah, sorry.
writing them down.
And I can give you those afterwards, but essentially it's Calico Stewart, who is the tabaxi person that you've seen. They are a black cat with white patches, like house cat, not Calgi.
Not actually a calico.
Not actually a calico, no. Although something that you understand from pressing a little bit more on Horner is that different cats show up every time they have a meeting.
Oh,
It's a wildly different cat every time. And they're not entirely sure why. They, them pronouns. Horner Crest, who is he, him, and is Brian Blessed, and the head of the Guild of Interlopers, of course. Sylvia Murray, who is the bald-headed, Will Riker beard, Golomancy legs, ambassador of to Thor's Haven, or from Thor's Haven, I suppose.
Construct Mancy.
That's probably better than Golomancy. That's a good point. And Tyr Savant, who is the gnoll that you've seen sort of tearing up the rug, putting on the Ritz.
So what was that last name?
Tyr Savant, Tyrsyllvant.
SYL.
VANT.
Yes, alright. There we go.
Yeah, but he basically, states that he doesn't really have such a problem with them. It's more the fact that some of the guild members do, or some of the council members do, and there's, that is kind of outweighing the apathy on the council right now.
Do we find out who are in favour?
Not from an 11.
Shit.
Anything about the gladiators specifically, or?
Some people on the council just really don't seem to like them. They've not had in-depth discussions about it beyond, a vote, really.
It's,
But
Oh,
all
what
the
was the
people
vote?
are-
What was the vote specifically?
It's essentially, do we try and push out our borders? Do we try and push out into the Gladiators' Quarter? And it was 2 against / not particularly for, and 2 for.
So it's a draw, right?
So it's a draw, but because of that, they've chosen, toss a coin, go for innocent or guilty until proven innocent, and done the attacks.
Presumably, the head is the person that has the deciding vote in the case of a draw.
No,
Or is it
because there's not really a head.
Oh, okay.
It was not
Someone's the leader of the guild of. Sorry, he's the leader.
Yes.
He's the leader of this guild, not the council. Yes, sorry, that's right.
Exactly. Horner is head of the Guild of Interlopers, Calico is head of the Guild of Assassins, and Tyr is head of the Guild of Artists and Astronomancers.
Okay. Do we know who voted? For
Not off an 11.
Not off an 11. Okay. I'm going to hand this over to Dave to see if he can do this, because if he can work out
The big gun.
And I'm assuming that there's it's you and Dave leaning like against a punch bowl or something like that, and trading this information as an interim scene.
Also, I'm pretty sure that deer's a dude.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, it's got
Never
horns,
met-
Sigmund, you idiot.
Never met a
What?
real deer.
You've never met a real deer? Hang on, what?
Oh, he has.
This is Dave accusing Sigmund of.
Yeah. So I let Dave know, like pretending that we don't necessarily know each other, and just came in as like together as a coincidence, and just I think I've got you some good stuff to go on now. You go knock it out of the park, little buddy.
Oh. I might start with the knoll.
You certainly can. She hasn't left the dance floor. I think you've probably been here about half an hour by this point. And she has not stopped. She has just kept drinking.
Does she still go
kept
even when there's no
dancing.
music?
Yes. Yeah, I think she does. I think, she dances to the rhythm in her heart.
Something
Which-
like that too.
Valid.
I think Dave. I guess like he will try and make conversation with her. Whether that actually works out is another thing.
Okay, fair enough. How do you sort of approach, I suppose?
Are Orkford and Orcs playing again?
Yeah, Month, Orc, and Sons are playing again, yeah.
I will.
And I think one of them gives you like 5 gold as a tip for covering for them.
Fuck off. Thanks.
That's alright. Was that to that was probably
No!
to the band now that I think about it.
Orcs.
Yeah, don't mention it. There you go. That was distinctively not my accent. Good. Fantastic.
Just sort of try and dance over. Be like, oh hey, I saw you dancing during my song. Did you like it?
It was great. Yeah, jeez. You're really talented. And she gives your shoulders a squeeze. I'm the head of the Guild of Artists and Astronomancers. How come I've never heard of you? She always sounds like she's kind of just on the cusp of laughing.
Okay.
She's always showing a little bit too much teeth.
Yeah.
She has kind of a braided mane.
I'm not based at Scunthorpe most of the time. I'm a traveller.
Well, it's a shame. You need to bring back those songs that you've been traveling with. These are fantastic.
I came here to play Scunthorpe, and I found that Scunthorpe's not Scunthorpe anymore.
Now that means as she ducks down like she's being conspiratorial. Now that means you've got 4 Scunthorpes to play to. That's 4 times the revenue. She taps her head 4 times.
It counts. Because it's like, there's you, there's the Free Scunthorpe Republic, there's the Empire of Sobek, the Scunthorpe British. Oh, and the Gladiators! I've heard that someone here has got beef with them.
Oh, yeah, I mean, not really beef, but it's just like, hang on one moment.
My god, there's an excellent dog outside.
I mean, valid. A few have been passed, but, I learnt my lesson after getting distracted by cats twice in the last hour. She sort of shrugs, and this is mid like a jig. She's not like lifting you or anything. She's quite in your personal space, but she's keeping, a little bit of a distance. She's not outright throwing you around, but she is dancing.
Probably enough to make me super uncomfortable, but Dave is probably not quite as touchy about personal space as me.
Yeah, she doesn't really have that kind of social bubble. Yeah, I mean they're not like bad people or they're not like bad people or anything, you know? They're just like you know, sometimes I think these kind of things are really written in the stars, you know? Like it seems real kind of divine intervention that all of a sudden there's this weird little sort of outlet from the society, and then, you know, the society came to take them back, and like, you know, I don't think it's in our you know, I think it'd be kind of sucky for us to interfere with that, really, you know?
What society?
Huh? The teeth people. You know the teeth people? The lizards? You seen the lizards? If you're new in town, have you seen that there are just lizards everywhere now? It's wild.
There are lizards.
There are tons of the lizards. Yeah, not just the normal lizards from like the gladiators' quarter or anything. There are additional lizards now.
Yeah, I've heard.
Oh.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. She kind of shrugs. Yeah, like, you know, I don't think it's... I'm not like, hey, fuck the gladiators' quarter. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a weird dwarf ambassador woman. Blah. But, you know, I think sometimes these things just happen. And it's... You gotta roll with the punches sometimes, you know? And she rolls. She does like a full, like, bodily backflip.
What do you think should just happen?
I don't know, whatever those Sobek guys are doing. Just...
What's that got to do with the gladiator arena?
They seem pretty interested in them for some reason, I don't know.
Gladiator's interested in the fighters, or the fighters?
No, the other way around.
Fighters interested... well, they just can't show up. They cancelled all the sports. Gladiator arena's a sport.
Yeah, I mean, they've not really been fighting for some reason. I know that we're kind of low-key at war with them or whatever, but, you know, that still seems rude. They could send some Apparat Sphere pictures or something. You know, I mean, like I said, I don't, like, hate the little lizard folks or whatever, but, you know, I wanted to see what the arena master, and a shadow falls across her face. I wanted to see what his next fight was like, you know?
Well... Maybe they'd put them back on again if they didn't. You know, they weren't being so beat down by people here. You gotta let people do their own thing. You gotta, yeah, like, you know, they gotta go with their own rhythm.
That's deep, that is. She, like, touches her forehead and then touches your forehead and is like, wow, you've given me a lot to think about. She continues dancing.
Okay, I'm gonna dance away.
You dance the night away.
Don't know about that, but I do. Don't forget.
She definitely dances the night away.
What did I learn there? Because I did find it a bit hard to keep track of who she was talking about sometimes.
So essentially, she doesn't personally, she doesn't hate the gladiators' quarter. She just is less of a sort of active person and more kind of passive. She thinks that such things as this tend to be written in the stars, and what she's seen in the stars dictate that's probably that this is meant to happen.
Okay.
So she's perfectly happy to just sort of let it happen, and, you know, if their sort of little poking at the gladiators' quarters sort of borders exasperates that, she doesn't really care.
Okay.
Or she doesn't mind, you know. Care is a different thing entirely. She also thinks, or she knows because she's a member of the council, that the ambassador to Thor's Haven has been pushing that policy pretty hard.
Yeah. Don't know what to do about her. Looks like it's going to involve more RP, and it's quite late. I could come back. We
Yeah,
come back
I'm
to
also frankly getting pretty tired.
Okay, well, that's
say to her for next time.
That's valid. Can I add an additional little stinger thing, and then we'll call it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Nick Fury comes in, and he said no. That's for season 2. Montbec, actually, Monty. I've got a little bit of a favour to ask you, if you don't mind.
Oh, anything for a friend, sir.
He clinks. He gets you a glass. Like, he calls over a waiter so that you have a glass, and then he clinks your glass.
Yeah.
I'm having a spot of trouble. And well, when you can't rely on your friends, I think it's best to rely on the people that you met 15 minutes ago at a party.
Oh, absolutely. You'd be surprised how many problems I've solved this way when you bring in a, how shall we say,
It's an
unbiased point of...
influence.
Yes.
It's a fresh pair of eyes. And, I find
Yes.
as I get older that my eyes are getting less and less fresh every day. That's a sign of getting old, Monty. I mean, you're a young man. This is walking around in mithril armor. That's a young man's game.
Yes, it is. It is a bit. It's light, but it's still a bit of a problem on the knees. Anyway, sorry. I digress. You go on, sir.
No. I mean, we can talk about my knees all you like, but I've got a little bit of a problem with my daughter Anais. She's my daughter. So it's one of those daughters that you have from time to time. But she doesn't seem willing to leave the family abode. She came back from school under auspicious circumstances, I suppose. You know how it is. Kids, right? And he
nods
doesn't
and then
butting
shakes his
in.
head.
And I was wondering if you'd just sort of get her here. Really, we're supposed to be having a meeting of the council after this, and she's really supposed to make an appearance. And I kind of hyped it up.
I see. Well, perhaps if you scratch, I can scratch your back, of course. We're both businessmen, of course. So do not be surprised if I come calling to you for a favor as well, of course. But this is certainly something. I am known for my discretion.
You do seem you're a very large man in a very large suit of armor. I can tell you're a man who can be disgraced with.
Exactly. So where is the young lady?
He gets like a napkin, and I think he has a stub of charcoal somewhere in like one of the pockets of his waistcoat, and he just draws you a little map, and it's a house about 3 blocks away.
Cool. Yes.
Like I said, locked up in the family abode. There are some servants and things around there probably. But yeah,
yes.
She's a bit of a firebrand, I suppose. I met her mother, and she was a bit of a firebrand, and I was like, great. But now the firebrand's my daughter, and it's harder work.
Yes. It always seems so much fun when you're the one doing it. No, I quite understand. So,
yeah, when it becomes
Barry.
when it's someone else's problem, it's great. But now that it's my problem, I'm like, whoa.
Yes.
Kind of
Perhaps
reflecting
this
on
was wrong the whole
decisions,
time. But no, just no. It was good. It was good in the past, but not now. Yes, I see. Because I've been thinking, with the sport being cancelled, perhaps a good bit of gladiatorial combat and something. A wager could be placed upon. In fact, I've had a couple of tips. So I'll tell you what, I'll get to your daughter here. If you can help me use your vast influence, we can perhaps get a little bit of the old stabby, Betty, money, drinky, pass out on the flat one doesn't rhyme quite so much. But yes, you know what I'm saying. And then he gives a big wink.
Of course. Winks. You want to get the gladiatorial arena open again, right?
Yes, I do, so I can lose all
Okay,
of my
cool.
money on it. Yes, making bad
All right,
bets.
sweet. I was worried for a second there.
Yeah, no,
I wasn't
that's
sure
the
what
plan.
you were implying.
No, I think it would be good to get that up and running again, just because, I think times like these, you need some entertainment for the masses. You know how it is.
It's important to keep morale high, I suppose, and I
Yeah.
don't think opening the sports up again will do it. I mean, apparently the swamp, the tar pit bubbles are getting bad again.
Oh no! But I'll tell you what cheers me up. Seeing
someone kill someone else.
seeing a much
it's
smaller
fantastic.
man be beaten to death by a much larger man.
Yes.
Yes,
It's a common interest for the people, I think
it's
even
one of
these-
my favourite tropes.
Yes, it's a good one.
Yes,
This was a
With
good
little-
call.
it was. Yes, I'll tell you what. let me find my way there, and I will see you shortly, my friend. Wink.
You're a good man, Monty Beck. I could tell with a name like that, you're good at all manner of skullduggery.
Indeed. And as we see them clink, and we see Sigmund kind of go to kind of roughly let Dave know what's up, because this is probably a thing. I think we do actually see the camera like Sigmund clinks his glass, but as we see him talking to Dave, we do actually see Sigmund like tipping it out into the plants that they're by, rather than drinking it.
Oh, that's character development.
That would be one of those. That would be a nice little subtle. I've got to say it out loud but if this was a TV show, the camera wouldn't be focusing on it, but you'd see him doing it like in the background.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, that was a good session, gang. I hope that was fun for folks.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Folks
we
referring
actually
to
got
the,
through.
the audience, not us.
I mean, I hope it was fun for you guys as well. But yes, I care primarily about our vast audience.
Hellhounds.
Yeah, hellhounds.
Maybe my sister sometimes.
Yeah, 2 people. Right. So yeah, let's call it for the evening. Say bye, gang.
Hi, gang.
Okay.
Bye, gang.
Hi,